Hello, this is Mark Herm. This is episode 2 of the Chirp Herm Show, the video edition of the Chirp Herm Show. Today we have Joe Mckeehen, former World Series of Poker main event champ, with us. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Mark?
Nada, thanks for coming on. You did the show with me before, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Did you like it? I think it was good. I think we did a pretty good one. This is like fucking oh no, I think G's was on the line.
G's was there.
Yeah.
He's there in the background too, but your head's blocking him right now.
Wait.
There we go.
Oh, that right there.
That's the G's. Yeah.
The picture of
G's.
This is the new Chirp Herm studio. Do you like it?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta like put that on like the sidewall though, so it's always in the picture.
I know. I need to overtake all poker podcasts. Like I need to just be number one. That's my
favorite. For real.
Are they good? I don't watch Ingram or I think Doug Polk is actually kind of entertaining. I like a lot of his stuff.
I don't really watch Joey much either, but like they post YouTube videos and I'll occasionally watch them. Doug does like poker hands. Those are kind of interesting.
Yeah, I saw him do the thing about Selps, like the Selps top 5 hands or whatever. And just start like massively punting.
Yeah, those are funny.
Yeah, they're epic. All right, so let's talk a little bit of poker. I think I don't ever give anyone credit, and maybe it's like my ego, or I just I think a lot of people are bad, and a lot of your routine grinders are just like scared and weak. And they don't use their intuition, and they just suck. But I think you're like, whenever I talk to anyone, I'm always like, yeah, I think Mckeen's one of the best. Like literally, there's like 4 people that I say maybe, and I say that. But I kind of don't really understand your game because I'm such a lagtard, and I always liked lagtards games. And you seem more like controlled and stuff. Tell me about your game. Like, has it changed much, or your general?
I don't know. I just try to play good. When you play live poker, you get a lot of information off the one person you're playing against in every hand. Compared to like online, you probably have like 800-900 hands off a database or like a HUD or whatever, and you have stats to kind of figure out what they want to do. In live poker, you have, I don't know, a couple hands maybe against a lot of people, and like it doesn't take much if you pay a little bit of attention, like in the hands you're not in, to really pay attention to their tendencies. Whether they're like big call stations, whether they look like they want to fold a lot, whether they're like playing good, and like I don't know. I try to avoid the good players as much as you can early in tournaments. I mean, you take your spots, but like you don't want to like get in giant ego fests with them all the time. Compared to like these other dudes who like you can just value bet to death, or like these other guys who like you can just blast twice and they're gonna fold top pair every time.
Right.
Getting that fast.
Go ahead. Right.
I think I'm good at figuring that out fast. Then like deeper in the tournament, everyone's tightening up. When re-entry is over and all that stuff, and you're like closer to the money. You really get tendencies on people, and there aren't a lot of people that go like crazy. So I start to open up a little more.
Yeah. I think that's really a massive talent that a lot of these guys that are just not great poker players, they don't possess the ability to assess people. And, let's assess a guy that's 55 years old. He's wearing a Red Sox hat. He is kind of overweight. Like the way this guy plays probably.
Yeah, he just re-raised you. Like the worst hand he has is jacks.
Yeah,
it's like you can't just call with like the king 10 suited and like flop a pair and call down 3 times. It's just
right, but I think that's the thing that people are lacking. Do you think that's like natural ability that they're lacking? Because this is poker ability that we're talking about, I guess. Like I
don't know. I mean, they probably do a lot more like studying and like they want to be perfect in this range and against that, whatever. But like a lot of the times it's going to assume the other person's playing a perfect range too. And like how many people in live poker are playing perfect ranges? Like even the best players aren't playing perfect ranges. They're probably exploiting in some way. They have to. Like they have to play. I would assume the best players are playing a lot looser and playing a lot more hands because they're going to take their skill edges.
You are right. Like you're not playing close to a perfect range or whatever. I don't even really understand that.
Not really. I mean, like let's say you're playing like 25K. You're at a table full of everyone that's like a good player, and you know that. There might be like one fish, and you have like 6 top regs. You have like 6 Germans, Euros, whatever, and you. Like there, you're going to try to play more like tighter. You're going to play like more perfect ranges. You're going to open hands that are good opens. You're not going to get too out of lines. And like the fucking Borgata 2700 when we're down to 40 people left and we're in the money. Yeah, you give me the king 4 suited like under the gun 3, and the table has like one good player in the small blind, and everyone else is like a tight kind of reggy fish. And like hell yeah, I'm opening. Give me like 50 bigs. We're in there.
Yeah, and I your average player obviously can't make those sort of adjustments, but how about your short stack play? Like G's is like such a wizard at being still in the tournament. And I think you're the same way. Like with anyone that I see, I always see that, you're deep, you're not busting. That's my problem. I'm punting, and I'm doing a lot of stuff short stack that's bad. What is your short stack deal? Like you're not just going based on the numbers.
I don't like cash that often unless it's like more significant. Like if you like look at my percentage, that's like obviously me running like really insane too, and like winning a good amount of flips and all that stuff. But like a lot of the tournaments we play anyway, like the average stack's still like 40, 50 bigs the whole time. So like if you're around there, like you don't have to get short very often. But if you do get short, like you just have to have a good solid fundamental. Like you can't open much. Can't really call much. You can defend your big blind some. You got to go all in a good amount over like wide openers and get them to fold, all that shit. Kind of survive until like you get in like a lot of the times you just get down to like 20 bigs and like some tight dude opens like under the gun 3 and you got ace king. You're just like, all right, good luck. And you just call it with like jacks and you got to win that.
Yeah. How good do you think you are versus other people? I'm very out of touch with poker and I really have no idea what's going on.
I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I think everyone sucks too. You're not you're not alone there. I think a lot of people are like trying to do stuff post flop, and a lot of the stuff they do is just wrong. Like they want to like raise these boards because like they saw some wizard do it on TV, and it's just like,
give me an example.
You don't know what you're doing. I know. All right, let's say your old man opens in like early position, and this young wizard, whatever, is defending the big with like 10-7 suited.
Mm-hmm.
Comes like 8-5-4. One like rainbow, you have a backdoor flush, you check, and this old dude bets. Like, first off, right away, like this old dude that's like 55 isn't betting ace king on this flop. So like when you raise, he just has a lot of like good pairs that's never going to fold. When you like decide to raise and blast off, like the dude's never folding pocket jacks either though on any run out unless it comes like ace king or something.
Right. Yeah, that's like basic misuse of it. And
yeah, exactly. Like these live dudes just aren't folding. You do that against me, yeah, I'll probably end up folding the jacks by the river if I do decide to even bet the flop with them. But these other dudes, they're just like, yeah, he raises and then like on the river, like you bet like 75% pot when it runs out like 4 deuce. And the old dude's just like, I got pocket jacks. Oh man, this stinks. I call like, 95% of the time. Just table your bluff, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, they just can't.
Yeah, just like feeling on the flop. Like, yeah, if I have the 10-7 there, I'm just calling the flop 1. So if I don't improve the turn, I'm going to check fold. If he does check back the turn, I'll probably bluff the river. A lot of these dudes aren't betting ace king or anything like that anyway. So,
right. How much poker are you playing?
Yeah, I haven't played live poker in a while, but it's coming up. We got Borgata, then we got Florida, then 5 diamond.
You played the summer. You played the summer, right?
I played the summer. Yeah, I've been playing online a lot. Me and G's have been battling in the streets a lot. I don't know if you know anything about that, but we've been doing some battling.
I'm wondering if I can say Paul's name. I mean, I think everyone knows at this point, right? Who everyone is, or no?
On like those internet sites.
On GG, yeah, on GG.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know Paul until actually Paul told me his name.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know if everyone else knows him.
Give me the scoop on what's going on this site. I won't say your name.
Yeah, we're just playing. Like there's a couple high rollers every day. We just play.
What's the site called? It's called GG Poker.
GG Poker. Yeah, it's Bryn's site.
5 games, right? They run like 5 games a day or something outrageous.
Yeah, they've been pretty slow lately because I think the World Series of Poker Europe and Bahamas of like all the good players that are playing them are going there. So they've been really small lately.
Yeah,
but they're really good. You get a couple dudes in there. I'm like breaking even through a whole bunch of games. I'm down like 2 buy-ins.
Yeah, well, G's.
I want cash. G's is like the biggest winner, which surprised me because like I don't know, these Germans have like I don't even want to say Germans, like all these Euros have like a super technical game, and like a lot of these are ICM wise because they're all like 20-person fields where like 3 or 4 people pay, and like the min cash is always like some outrageously high number. Like the ones we've been playing lately, it's been like 15 people, 2 paid, and the min cash is like 5.5 buy-ins, and first place is like 9 buy-ins, and it's just like
right.
You got min cash.
It's sit and go ICM stuff.
Definitely a sit and go ICM wise, yeah.
The thing is, okay, let's think about this. Okay, these guys are wizards; they understand ICM better than say G's does, right? But even with that, is their edge extreme? There's no way it's extreme enough for it to be known over this short period of time.
It can't be.
Paul is obviously running hot.
Yeah. Paul is definitely winning more than everybody else. Like he's winning the tournament more than everyone else because he's like if he's going at it on the bubble, even if like he should be bubbling more, like if he's winning though, he's gonna have like bigger stacks more often and get heads up and like win the tournament. Like me, I'm min cashing a lot more than I am winning.
Right. Yeah, I would be thinking
because I'm playing ICM that way.
I would be playing. I hate ICM and MTTs. Like I laugh at everyone that talks about it, and unless it's the final table, of course. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, like this is it though.
What?
This is it. Yeah. I mean, folding ace queen, but like there's spots where like people might fold like ace queen or ace jack, and like Paul's just in there always. He's never folding. Like he knows.
Right. I would
like high rollers play bubbles differently than like your standard Borgata 2700. When you're at like 5 people and 4 pay, like the chip leader just goes all in every hand pretty much, and like everyone kind of has to fold without like the top of the range. Whereas like that's never going to happen in a Borgata when there's like 40 people paying or whatever.
Right, way different. Way different.
The chip leader might raise a lot, but like everyone else also has like 50, 60 bigs, and this goes kind of turbo. So like the chip leader might have like 40 bigs. Everyone else is sitting on like 15 to 20. So
yeah,
it's much bigger deal to main cash and like win your showdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, the chip leaders is all in with like 8-2 offsuit and stuff. I've seen a lot of that. It kind of struck me as odd, but I didn't realize that the ICM implications are.
It is. Well, yeah, it's the thing. Like if someone's only supposed to call off with like kings plus, then like, you know, showing every single hand is fine. But then you have the people that aren't, like they're calling you with ace queen, they're calling you with like pocket nines, all that shit, and then like obviously it's terrible.
Just to give an example, let's say there's 4 left and 3 pay, and the stacks are this. Chip leader has all the chips. Let's say he has 200K. You have 50K and you're second in chips. And then there's a 30K and a 15K stack. And the blinds are 2K.
I'm playing tight as shit.
Right. But I'm going to give you a spot. Chip leader goes all in. What is your calling range? Are you folding queens?
Well, probably. I mean, positions and stuff matter.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Queens is the fold, though, right? Just off the top of my head, I would think that's where
I'd probably fold queens. Yeah, when you got this other dude with like 7 bigs.
Yeah, it's kind of
like even if he doubles, you're still in second by a lot.
It's kind of weird though. Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah. It's extremely obvious.
It's shitty, but like if the min cash, if like on these sites when the min cash is like 3 buy-ins in a spot like that, where like 4 pay or 3 pay or whatever, it goes something like 3 buy-ins, then like 4 buy-ins, then like 6 buy-ins maybe. Like the jump is the biggest from min cash to bubble, so you got to min cash really.
Right, of course.
And like just take your lumps afterwards. Like I've been doing a lot of folding to heads up and going in as like a big dog lately, and like I'm losing them all, but that's fine because I'm getting these giant min caches.
Yeah,
that are paying for most of it. Like, you know, and like I'm giving myself a chance to like maybe win a flip and heads up and like get like be close. But
you want to get the equity, of course. So you told me that you're coaching for chances. What's it called? And explain just
coaching
what you do and how you like it.
Yeah, coach. I have students. They play poker and then like they earn one-on-ones, and like I give them a one-on-one for like an hour. They have to give me, they have to give the site a percentage of their caches because that's the contract.
What is it? Do you know?
Well, mine is, so I have like a $250,000 contract with a lot of my students, and they pay, I think it's like 6.5% of their caches. Their first cash is up to 250,000 to the site. It comes out to like 16 grand or something. So they're paying like $16,000 for like many hours of one-on-ones, access to our giant database. All the coaches make group lessons too. We do whatever. I did a group lesson earlier today. I'm going over a final table I made in the summer.
That seems extremely reasonable.
Yeah. You don't have to pay too until you cash. So like, I mean, obviously you have to like play to earn your one-on-ones, but like if you just play like 20 tournaments and brick them all, you'll get a couple one-on-ones and you haven't paid a dime yet. But then, like, let's say you have cash for 250,000, like you got to pay the whole 16,000 on that.
Right.
But then, like, you're good. So, like, you're just then you get like the minimum amount of time or whatever in the program, and then you like don't have to pay anything more. Have students that clear the contracts really fast.
Have you seen anyone? How long is the longest amount of time that you coached one person?
Well, I mean, all my students are still there from when I started, pretty much. It was in like February or something.
Okay. Have you noticed guys get better?
I think for what it's worth, like my group of students is far and away the best, like results wise and I think talent wise. they're playing the most. Like I have a lot of just grinders that are like decent, like playing like, you know, $1,100 tournaments in America that they're just like crushing because they're so much better than everybody else. Right. And they're doing that. Like I have dudes that just came in, like some dudes I never heard of, and they crushed 250,000 in like 2 months, playing like 1100s and 1600s and stuff, like stuff you wouldn't expect them to be able to do that with.
So that's what you get. And stop me if it's like too much.
No, it's fine. I get some of the money that they give to chip leader. I don't get all of it.
But the number that the person pays is essentially 16,000 of 250,000.
For that contract, the whole thing, something of that nature.
And then once that is up, once the 250K, they win a tournament. Then what happens?
Well, they get like a minimum time in the program, so it's not like someone can just sign with me, then play a tournament the next day, win 250,000, pay us, and be like, "Oh, see ya." That'd be pretty bullshit for them. So like they get either a minimum amount of one-on-ones with me, or they get a minimum amount of hours, or not hours. Like I think they get like 6 months or something in the program minimum.
Right.
And so like, they have access to our database, and then like after that, they have to renew another contract or leave the program.
Right. And then do they generally get like a more advantageous deal moving forward? I mean, this is kind of in depth.
Well, they just probably move up. The bigger the contract is, the less percentage you have to pay. Like I have a $500,000 student now, and that's just paying 5%. So he's paying $25,000 for the whole thing.
Right, makes sense because
then like we just hired a Euro coach who's gonna be doing $1 million students supposedly. Whenever that gets set up.
Do you? I give Chance massive props for putting this together. This is like the greatest thing ever. Like this really took a genius business mind to put this together, and it's a lot of working parts. That scares me. Something like that would be intimidating for me to.
Well, he did it with a partner, so that helps. They obviously funneled a lot of time and money into it, and like I don't know if they're making like a ton of money yet themselves, but like they took a risk. It worked. And like this thing is so popular that like we supposedly have a waiting list of like hundreds of students. You have to be really qualified in order to like get consideration, or like you have to know one of the coaches, and the coach is being like, "Yo, I want this as my student."
Yeah, for
I tell everybody I know that wants me. I'm like, "Yo, like let me know. I'll give him a word and be like, yo, I think this dude's a good student. If he qualifies, put him in my group like immediately." I've done that with like 2 or 3 of my students.
So how many students do you have now?
Like 10. Yeah, it's probably my max for now. I have some dudes that are just cleared with their contracts. So I don't know. At some point, their time is going to be up, or I'm going to give them enough one-on-ones, and they're going to like leave or do something else.
From a business perspective, that's I don't know. It just seems a little. Anything in the poker world, I've always been very apprehensive business-wise. Just
it sucks, dude. No one knows what's going up here. No one ever does anything good in this.
No, I don't. I think that Chance is doing a great job, but I just don't think there's enough money.
You're probably right. I mean, I don't know how much it took them to do all this stuff. I mean, I joined this kind of late compared to like the other dudes who have been here, but like it's working. We have plenty of students. I don't know how many students we have. Maybe like 100 something, maybe. Like we're wearing our patches and our shirts and our hoodies and all that crap around the world. And like we go deep in a tournament. Like you get Twitter, you get like write-ups on the blogs and stuff. It's good publicity.
Right.
Like, this is the thing that people want to be a part of.
The problem is the scalability. It cannot. Poker is just not going to get 20 times bigger than it is now.
No, of course not. But that's the issue. Like we have this giant waiting list. We have all our students. Like there are just a bunch of students who are just like not even playing. Like they're not playing. They obviously can't like pay. They're just like getting the database for it. And it's like we got to do stuff about that. A lot of like the lower groups, especially, there are a few students that are trying really hard, and like we give them all the credit and they should stay and they're learning. There are other ones that are just like sitting there that's like just kind of want to be a part of it, not really doing anything.
Right.
Kind of not really doing anything. It's like, yeah, we kind of got to find like the best students that like are going to go out, play, rep the brand, not just sit there and kind of waste everyone's time, you know? Like there's stuff needs to be done, but we're working on it.
I'm just thinking about it from a business perspective. It's a shame because, like I said, this is such a genius thing. But the way I would relate this metaphorically to something else is like this is like playing, being a great player. His business is like being a great player and playing online. The 100 rebuy, if that even still exists, in 1Ks, and you're grinding out. I don't know how much these guys make, 100K a year, 200K a year, and it's good-ish money. But your talent is extreme to be making that little of money. So like his and then the different example would be like someone that's playing in a home game that's like a decent player and is just winning millions of dollars a year,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in this game. Like I don't have anyone I don't get to show up somewhere and they're just be like, oh, here's your 20,000 for the week, go home. Like I don't have that type of home game. I still go and travel and play tournaments, I play live. That I think the money in live is like a lot bigger, obviously, but you play one tournament for 5 days compared to playing, you can get like 100 in over 5 days online.
Yeah. Do you think about that often, like how much you're making like per year and stuff? Is that like, I think people think when someone wins the main event, even me, I'm like, oh, well, he probably isn't really like worrying about money that much anymore, which is so dumb. Which is so dumb because I've had tons of scores with horses and stuff like that, and I'm still thinking about how much I'm making.
Well, yeah, I always want to make money. I mean, I've had a good year so far, but I haven't like done shit in a few months. I haven't really played much, but like I want to end the year strong. I want to make some money, hopefully.
What? Give me a day in the life of you when you're not playing a live poker tournament.
I'm playing video games probably.
What video games?
Oh, whatever. Playing some Madden, some baseball. Got Mario Party. The last like month I've been playing these online tournaments too.
Yeah. What else do you do?
Not much. Wait for my girlfriend to come home, then we'll like watch sports or watch a TV show or something. If it's a weekend, we'll go out.
Go out where? Are you a drinker? That's what my buddy who helps me with the show. He has questions for people, and he knows who you are, and he had a bunch of questions to ask me, and he was like, "Does he drink or do drugs?" And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't think he's."
No, I just drink like with meals and stuff mostly. I don't drink to get drunk or anything. I don't do drugs.
So when you say going out, what does that even entail?
Like going out to like eat or like like going out to eat or seeing a movie or just like doing cute date stuff with your girlfriend,
So what's the scoop with your girlfriend? When did you meet her? All I know about was
we've been together almost 2 years now. We met like 2 Januaries ago.
Okay. How's it going?
Oh, it's great. She lives with me. She like comes home, cooks, cleans, all that stuff. And like, we go on trips occasionally too. She works a real job. We see each other. We sleep together, all that good stuff.
We sleep together. Does that mean like?
I mean, like we sleep in the same bed. We live together, that type of thing. We obviously fuck too, but that's besides the point.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. What does she do?
She is a recruiter now. She kind of a new job for her. She like helps other people find jobs, and then she gets like commission off it.
I can't imagine the sort of girl that you would be just because that you would be with. It's just hard for me to imagine for some reason. Some like Paul was the same way with me. He was always single, and then he got a girlfriend, and it was so odd to see him with a girlfriend. Just for whatever reason in my head, you don't put him together like in that situation for whatever reason.
Yeah, sometimes in poker too, it feels like people really just want the money more, but like there's a life outside of it, and after I did enough poker and like immersed my life in that for so long, I am trying to be a little more normal now.
But what is you like, and what are you like? Like,
I mean, we're like our personalities go really well together. She's like super upbeat and happy and bubbly, especially in public, and I'm not. I'm the exact opposite. So like it helps both ways. Like, she's getting me to do stuff. I'm getting her to do stuff. We're like helping each other. It's good.
Yeah, what is up with that, by the way? Like, okay, so let's just be real for a second. We talked about this last time, but a ton of people in poker dislike you. And
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I know. But listen, but I dislike a lot of people. I always, for whatever reason, had like, I just liked you a lot. And something you did, I could see how it would trigger other people, but it never bothered me at all. It was.
Yeah, why would it?
Well,
people care too much about people they don't know, like who gives a shit, man? Yeah, but, like sure, you want to like judge me, I don't give a fuck, judge me. Like this is why I just don't give a fuck anymore.
But is that
give a fuck? I'd probably be like a mental wreck.
Can you honestly say though that you don't give a fuck and really mean it? Because for me, I know
I definitely don't give a fuck.
And so
there are a few people I care about in poker, and like I don't even want to say I want to impress, but like I want to be friendly towards and be nice and casual. Like I keep that ring kind of small. I just it's social too. Like I want to be there with my friends. I don't want like your 45-year-old dude that see me on TV be like, oh my god, I saw you on TV. It's like cool, you're not alone. Like look around, everyone else has too.
Wait, you're saying if a random 45-year-old guy says, hey, I've seen you on TV, then that's your response to him?
No, I mean, I usually blow them off though. Like, I don't care. I don't do like pictures or autographs or any of that shit.
What is that from though? Why? Like what?
I don't
Why
know.
do you
It
like
just bothers me. Like, I don't want like my time to be bothered, I guess. Like, if let's say I'm like walking, I'm on break of Borgata or something in the middle of this tournament. Like, I'm talking to a friend, or like maybe we're talking about hand histories or something, or like how to attack our table. And like this dude just comes up and tries talking to me. It's like, bro, I'm working. Like, get out of here. I really don't give a fuck.
But I'm thinking in my head as you're saying this. Are you actually being extremely real? Like if that happened to me, I think I would like a bitch talk to the person. Go out of my way. I do fake shit
A
where
lot of
I'll
people
see
do that.
someone.
That's the normal response. That's why it's
Yeah,
like different for me.
yeah, but well, I think, but I'm not sure. It seems like what you're doing though. I'm not convinced that that's real either. I feel like there's some reason why you're this abrasive to
I
people.
have no idea. I don't know. I think like dealing with people, one of the best ways to like to get your message to just be direct and maybe like harsh and honest with it. So like it's like if I string this dude along, he might hang around and like continue to talk. Whereas like if I'm just like, yo, dude, like I don't want to talk to you, like go away, then they're much more likely to do that.
I mean,
It's legitimate. Like I think that's it.
it's kind of a great point, but it's also in the same sense. Like, don't you get the feeling that it could possibly make someone feel very
Shitty, absolutely. But I mean, whatever. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm working. I'm a busy man, you know?
I don't believe that you really feel that way though. I don't
I
think
mean,
that.
ask everybody. It's what happens.
But so okay, but why? This like
I don't know.
kind of trying to psychoanalyze you now. This is just what I think. This is what I think from what I perceive. It seems like to me that you have no problem showering people, which I like
Yes,
a lot. Paul was
absolutely.
very much like that, but
Yep.
he's a sweetheart, which it's good.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah,
But not in that
I
regard.
believe you. But I want to get to that. So the way I perceive it is I'm always thinking of like things that happen to people or situations that people were raised in. Like what was your childhood like? To me, what I would say off the top of my head, I bet this kid was bullied in an extreme way as a kid, and it's made him abrasive to other people. Does that make sense? That's what I would think.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I wasn't like a very social butterfly as a kid either. I didn't like have many friends in school. But I
Yeah.
don't care about that now. Like, I mean, I like my family. My upraising was very normal. I went to Catholic school. Catholic school sucks. Um, Outside of that, though, like, yeah, I didn't do a lot of social stuff. It was like my senior year in high school. I even tried to do a couple things, but like, I didn't get my license. I didn't have like my license then, so it was hard to go out and drive and like do all that shit. So like, I just stayed home and played poker a lot instead, and like got good at what I got at the games.
So I mean, I think this is fairly standard for people that are savant-ish. That I felt way different than kids. I'm not saying I'm a savant, but I felt way different than kids. I had so much going on. I was the most awkward fucking high school kid, really up until I was 25, and I'm still a bit awkward.
Oh yeah, me too.
But for me, I kind of internalized that in a bad way, and also awkward. I never got any attention from females. So I noticed in my life, I've been doing a lot of hypnotherapy, and I noticed how much these past events have changed me, and I never realized they did. Like I was doing hypno recently, and there was a time when I was 8 years old, and I pissed the bed, and I felt extremely shameful about that. And then I realized going back, my life completely changed after that event, and I didn't even fucking remember the event. You know what I'm saying? So that's like
I guess.
an obscure example, but that's what I see with you. But why? Like, so what was your deal as a kid? You were just fucking a weirdo. You weren't like other people.
I was definitely weirder. I was like, so when I was like super young, I was like supposedly like really good at math. And like generally like in school, especially like before you get like higher, like you're younger, all that shit. Everyone's like, ah, you're smart, you're a nerd, idiot, like that type of thing. I didn't care. I just did my own thing. I had my own little group of friends that wasn't in school. We had fun. Then like high school came, it was a little more real. I went to an all boys school, by the way, so I got no attention from females either. I didn't even have a choice.
Right. But do you think that maybe you needed towards people when you describe to me someone comes up to me and you're like, beat it? That I just feel like that's just simply from people mistreating you as a kid.
Oh, I definitely don't. I think like many people are just stupid idiots. Like I can't trust many people for sure. Like I don't expect a person to do like what I think is the right thing very often. I don't know if that's because I don't know what the right thing is or because they don't, but like obviously from my own personal point of view, I'm going to think I know what the right thing is. So like when they do something else, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you know, like one of the biggest like examples of this is like when I go out driving, everybody like there's nobody in the fucking world near me that knows how to drive. And it's so infuriating because like I have to deal with this and I drive my own way. I have no idea. Just like you go out and like someone like doesn't put their turn signal on. It's just like, come on, you fucking idiot. You got to put your turn signal on, you know, like stuff like that. And like that gets me going too. Like,
but then you're mentioning that you essentially don't trust people, right?
That's kind of part of it too. Like, okay, this person's turn signaling. Like, how do I know that like they know what they're doing?
But why? Why do you think you don't trust people? Like I don't know. Again, like I'm a very trusting person, overly so, and it's hurt me, and to where the point where now I'm dialing it back in and I'm becoming less naive. And then I know, I have friends of mine that are extremely not trusting, and I also see it hurting them because it shuts them out from opportunities that they could have with people for sure. But why do you think you're like that to start?
I just pick and choose where I put my trust. I put my trust in my girlfriend when I met her. That worked. Like I have friends that I put my trust in. They're like a lot of other people though that I just don't see like enough positive qualities in to like want me to put their trust in, I guess.
It's interesting.
Maybe it's an issue for me that's deep down too. I don't know, but like,
what is your guess? What is your guess it is? Because I think usually when you,
I think like when I don't trust people, it's because I think they're idiots, and like I just don't like trust them with stuff. Like, like I have good friends that like I wouldn't trust with like anything. Like I wouldn't trust them with my money, you know, because like I don't think they're not like smart with it. But, like I'm at least smart enough to realize that, and like you know I like give them the trust as a person, but I don't give them the trust as like
that's
something like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Honestly, if you want to hear what I actually have to think about that, I think most people are fucking dumb. Yes.
No, of course they are.
At least in things that we are going to excel at. As douchey as that sounds, I'm good with understanding like certain things about poker, which makes you understand certain things about people's psychology. And a lot of people are, and obviously because we've both done very well for ourselves in these areas, we're going to be, there's going to be people that are way less than us than we are at those things. So it's easy to be critical. And of course, trust this guy.
I mean, like we think everyone sucks. That's probably that's probably, I don't even want to say that's normal, but like, it's probably something where it's like our minds are just wired to think like, oh, like we're better than everybody else. We just, like we're also going to like deflect blame on other people because we think they suck. And sometimes that'll be our justification for like them beating us in a hand, whether it's right or wrong.
What do you mean deflect blame? That's interesting.
Well, like if we think everyone else sucks, then we're not going to think we suck.
Like, are you talking about a poker or just anything?
I mean, I was mainly talking about poker, but like in life too, I don't know if you do that like outside of the table. I'm a lot different outside of the tables than I am on the table, but like, especially in poker, it's like, oh, like this dude defended like the 6-deuce off against me in the big when I think it's like a terrible thing. And I had like king, queen, it came king 6-deuce. And like, he won a big pot off me because of it. It's just like, okay, well, that was a terrible defend. I shouldn't have lost a big pot because of it. Like, I don't know. Like it's a thing in poker too. People can make mistakes that end up hurting you, whether it's like good for them or not.
Right. But you're saying that's counterproductive because it gets you less thinking about the things that you control. You're thinking about why the fuck did this idiot. Right.
Kind of. I mean, maybe, but like, like, yeah, you do that sometimes. Like, I definitely did that a lot when I started. I'm like, oh, that guy made a bad play. Like, what could I do? Like, oh, I opened the cutoff with kings and he reshoved sevens for 24 bigs and I called and he hit a 7 and I'm out of the tournament. Like,
well, yeah, of course.
Obviously standard as fuck. But it's like, at least early in my career, I was like, yo, like, God, he overplayed those 7s. Like, I obviously have it when I raised that stack size on that. In that position, when like obviously it's like standard as fuck. It's a stupid thing to worry about. That's like even a bad example.
I think no, but I know what you're saying. But I think
that better example, like I have ace king in that spot and he has 7s and he wins. Like, oh my God, like,
I think all of this shit though that you're talking about stems in some way from you being self-critical of yourself for some reason. Because it is for me. 100%.
It took me a long time to become self-critical of myself, especially when it came to poker.
Why? Oh, because you would just blame.
A lot of that would be like, oh, this dude did something wrong, or like, oh, it was a standard cooler, I couldn't do anything about it. And I was probably right some of the time, but like other times, like if I went back and like looked, like this is always gonna be the truth. If you go back and like look at your hand histories 5 years ago, you're gonna be like, wow, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But like I bet back then I was like, wow, I played this hand so perfect. I just got really unlucky.
Yeah. But speaking of the thing where, you and I sort of said that we think other people are stupid.
That's part of it too.
I don't think we could be being overly critical, because there's many different forms of intelligence, 100%.
Yes.
And then
I think a lot of them don't translate to poker.
Yes. Yeah, almost. I think
none of them. Very few of them.
Yeah.
A lot of the best players of poker are just shitty at life. That's for sure. They might be like okay at life, but like there's no way that like the best poker player in the world is like also like just killing life. They might be doing fine for themselves and like they might do exactly what they want, but like if you look at like a traditional life, like the recreational doctor that's playing like a 2,700 on his own for fun is like killing life so much more than like the biggest winner in that tournament.
And why do you think that?
Because like first off, they're a doctor, good for them. They're smart. They applied themselves to something that like getting a doctorate is fucking hard. That takes years. It's hard
to win at poker. I'm totally disagreeing with this. It's hard to win at poker. I mean, I look up.
Well, it's like, but you dedicate yourself to a game compared to like you dedicate to something that can like help people a lot more. Like if you're a doctor, you're fucking saving lives and like.
Yeah, but the thing is, you had it in you to play poker. You wanted to play poker, so you had to play poker. You're not meant to be a fucking doctor. And I think all these kids, guys in the poker world, get fucked up in their head, and you get like someone like Dan Coleman who'll say poker is not serving to anyone, and I can see that he looks down on people that are poker players, even though he's a poker player.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some self-hatred there.
What?
There's probably some self-hatred there.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't agree with it because I used to think the same way. Okay, so I got sober and I had like a massive life change. And I got a little bit less selfish, and I was like, okay, well, I want to do something that helps other people with my life. And so I started to volunteer a ton, and I fucking hated it, and it didn't make me feel good inside. I was bored doing it. And my belief in
it's not for you then.
Yes, so that's what I think, and I'm like. Then at some point, I just fucking said, fuck all this shit. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I think that we all have to operate from that place. If not, we're doing ourselves and everyone else a disservice. So I have no fucking judgment. If I want to play poker, if I want to fucking trade crypto, whatever it is that I want to do, yeah, you can try to help people too as much as you can in your life. But I think my thought on that is you help people just by being your true self and not doing
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
Yeah. All right. So I have some questions. Oh wait. So I wanted to ask you about this. What is your level of being a DJ? Because everyone in poker to a degree is a DJ. I'm actually a very little DJ.
I'm a very little DJ too.
I thought you weren't.
I DJ with friends. I just do it socially. When I started, I played a lot more. But again, like if I look at every like instance I went on socially gambled, it was all social. It was like with people for fun. With money, I didn't mind losing. With money, I could afford to lose. Like even now, I don't sports bet. I don't care for sports betting. I play games I have edges in usually, and then like occasionally I'll like screw around and play blackjack for a little while or like video poker.
What is your like?
I don't really have one. I don't know. I'm just happy. I play video games a lot. I watch YouTube. Like I do nothing a lot.
What would you? Okay, let's think about this question. What would you say your level of happiness is on a scale of 1 to 20? You got to be honest, because my honest answer is not that like my answer often could be like a 6.
If you asked me that question before I had a girlfriend, it'd probably be like a 5. Now it's probably like at least above 10. It might be like a 12 to 13. But like I'm happy enough. I still see a lot of like I don't know if I'm gonna ever be capable of getting to 20. Yeah. Like the day after I won the main event, I was probably like a 16. So I don't know if I can ever get to 20, Like, I don't know. Like, the day I get married and, like, have kids, like, first off, that's not necessarily something I'm interested in. But, like, if I ever change my mind, like, I don't know if that'll get me to a 20 either. That might get me to, like, a 16. Right. But, like, I'm at a 12 right now, which is pretty good for myself. That's a lot of, like, I'm not going to get much happier, I don't think.
Right. Do you do any self-help stuff?
No.
Like, do you think about like, do you like put conscious effort into like making your life better? Does that make sense? Because I know a lot of people that crush it and they don't.
Well, I thought getting a girlfriend would help, so that was like number one. I did. I started looking and online dating.
What app? I'm on all. Zeusk?
I'm on Zeusk.
I get emails from them.
The first thing I paid for, and it was the first girl I messaged.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it worked.
Well, okay, let's talk first date. What do you do first date?
We went to a restaurant, and we just hung for like 6.5 hours.
Yeah, that's my go-to for first date. I don't understand people that do first date like, let's go play mini golf or let's go like.
No, that was like date 2 was bowling. Like, yeah, like that's basically mini golf. Like date 1 is like, yo, let's meet. Let's make sure we don't suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we like each other. Like we're texting for a week beforehand. It's like cool. Like we're both interested. Yeah. You know, she seems cool. I seem cool. Let's see if she's the same way in real life.
What did you do? Have you bought anything with your money, or are you just a massive nit saver? What's your deal with money?
I mean, I bought a condo. I live in the condo.
How nice is that? How much it cost?
Like 180 or something.
What?
Yeah.
That's it, and that's all you bought?
What? Yeah, pretty much. I bought a car like the year before I won the main, so I didn't need another car, so I didn't buy another car. Like I bought like the condo for 180, but then like I spent another 30, 40 on like furniture and all that crap and like a TV and like the kitchen and all that stuff. So it's worth a little more than that. But like we've been living here for a while now. It's good. I just bought a water heater. Yeah, it's like.
But you're like a saver or no? Are you like a cheap person?
I don't think I'm cheap. I like try to save some money from time to time.
In what way? Let's talk. I'm cheap in certain ways for sure.
I mean, we don't spend much, but like we might not necessarily buy like a brand name of something compared to like something that like you don't need a brand name for.
Yeah, of course. That's just
shit like that. I mean, I still spend. I go to Borgata. We're gonna this weekend. They're all coming down. My girlfriend and her friends. We're gonna go to like outside of me playing the tournaments. Like we're gonna hang. We're gonna go to Angeline's one night, which is the expensive Italian restaurant there. Probably spend $450 for 6 people. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of a party. We'll be drinking all weekend too.
Right. What do you think since you won the main event that it made you more like guarded, more less trusting? Because like, you know, have you noticed people treating you differently and trying to get things out of you at all? And has it changed you at all?
Not really. No. I don't think so anyway. I don't let any of that stuff happen, even if it does. But I haven't like ever felt like anyone's come up to me and be like, yo, now that you have lots of money, I'm going to be nice to you and like try to be your best friend. I haven't done any of that. I wouldn't let that happen anyway.
You give me the idea.
Personality.
Yeah. Why are your tweets? Everyone asked me to ask you this. Why are your tweets protected? What is that all about?
Yeah, fuck people. I don't need people responding. Like, I mean, same kind of thing. Like, you want your circle? I don't need to have like all these random idiots that like have their own opinions that don't know me, that saw me on TV once. You know,
there has to be something under that. There has to be some sort of.
I could have probably given you a better answer like 2 years ago when it happened.
No, my point is, I just think that there's a reason why you're like that. Like, there's a reason why that you like fucking don't like other people or something like that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
People suck.
What?
I think people suck.
But why do you think that? You just think that's.
I just do. I don't know. Maybe my upbringing. Maybe like I don't know. I just like I see people do like things that I think are just incredibly stupid all the time, and like part of that maybe is just because like I'm a little more sheltered and like a lot of it's in poker, and like I think a lot of people suck. So, like I think a lot of people play bad. Maybe that like comes on a little bit, like outside of life too. But
it's like this thread that like you're critical of people. Were you like, was someone critical? Were your parents critical of you or something? I'm just trying to think.
No, not really. My parents are very normal.
I got that. I saw them.
Yeah, they're super normal. Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah,
I just the way. I guess maybe like expecting people to do stuff over and over again, and then it not coming out the way I expected. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm like, maybe that's something.
Say it one more time.
Like I expect someone to do something and they either do it or they don't. Like they do it like not the way I expected, which I think was like clearly worse, or they don't do it at all, something like that. And it's just like, yeah. Like right. I think if you want to get something done, you just do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some truth to that. All right, I'm gonna give you 5 poker players' names and just like give me your quick thoughts on them. Like
they all suck. Sure.
Okay, this is awesome.
They all suck.
You're like the best person to do this. Okay.
None of them better be my friends.
Number
I might
one.
lie then.
What?
None of them better be my friends.
We'll see. Number one, Matt Glantz.
I mean, he's good. Like, he's good at what he's like. In No Limit, he's like whatever.
I'm
He's not
asking
really
how good they are.
like,
I'm just asking.
my bad. I think one of their poker games. Yeah, I like Glantz. He's super nice. He's a little out there. I think we see differently on a lot of things, but like it's a good thing. It's not like usually if I see them differently on a lot of things, we don't like him. But Glantz is like nice. We see eye to eye on a lot of things. Like a lot of the stuff we talk about is like Philly sports. We see a lot differently there. I just think he's a good dude.
Yeah, you guys are boys. Okay.
Yeah, he's like a businessman for sure.
Next one, Kate Hall.
I mean, me and Kate are cool. I've always been cool to her. Like, we haven't talked in forever. I don't know. I think she thinks of me very highly. One of the few. At least, like, I think that's just because of poker. But like,
negative fucks. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe that's definitely a thing. I remember, was like the first thing. Like, I mean, I knew her from like all the shit, but like, I never really knew her. We were just poker players. And like, after I won the main, like I think the next year she's coming on Twitter and like Marty Derbyshire is coming after her. And like that guy just, if he died, the world would be so much better. He just has no place in the world as far as I'm concerned. And like, he was coming at us, like we had a similar hatred. So I messaged her and like, yo, like, fuck this dude. Like we kind of bonded over that basically. Like we've hardly ever talked. Like we've probably not said more than like 10 words to each other ever. But like we've played a little bit, and we have like a mutual respect for each other and all that stuff. But like I have like she posted too much like political shit on Twitter. Like I had to like unfollow her or mute her or whatever. So I don't know much about her, but like I know she's still good. Like I think she's a good person, but like her and I have like strictly different goals.
Yeah, of course.
Something like I can talk about whatever. Yeah.
Next one, Stelton.
I mean, I haven't talked to him in years. Obviously, like. Yeah, I mean, he's had it tough. He's one of those dudes that like you look in poker, like some of the guys when they get in their high equity spots, they just run so good, and those are the guys you remember. And then the other guys that just constantly run like shit.
Okay, real quick, those dudes. I think that his negativity. I love Stelton. Me and Stelton are fun.
I like him too. I think he's super fucking smart.
But do you think that his clear-cut negativity makes him run worse? I know you're probably going to say no.
Probably not.
What?
Probably not.
It's crazy, man. It's a black fucking cloud.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that way too. And I feel like some people feel the same way. Like I can see where that point comes from, but it just like, I don't know. Well, it's not like I get in this big flip deep in a tournament and I think I'm going to win this flip. It's more like, oh, I really hope I win this flip. Not, oh, I'm going to win this flip, I don't have that like positive brings positive things like that.
But you don't think negatively about the way you run though, right? Like, or have you ever been like?
I don't know. Sometimes you just get feelings like I'm going to lose a flip or like lose whatever. Like, I mean, whether it's right or wrong is like justified, like whatever. I don't know. It's like human emotion. It's not like logical at all. But like if you look at it logically, like that just doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's one thing if like you're negative in life and like you're looking for jobs, like you can't find a job because like. Obviously, like they can see the negativity and they don't think you're a good candidate. But like in poker, it's like I got all in aces to like ace king to queens. Like I'm going to win this number of times. It's just how it goes. I'm going to win this half the time, lose it half the time.
Yeah, no, it definitely logically doesn't make sense. I'm a big like law of attraction. Like I'm into all these weird methodologies. But I
totally understand that too. Like I looked at it. Cal is I think pretty big on that too. So like I did my whole thing with him and I learned a bunch about Cal. Like he was like that too, but I just don't see it. Like, I don't know. I just can't see it as much. Like, trust me, I'm not going into every flip thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose. My turn is going to be over. But like, I've definitely gone in positively on some of them and lost. And like, I've gone in negatively on some of them and won. Like, it's not logical shit. It's all illogical. So
yeah, I definitely don't think there's hard and fast with that stuff.
Hell no, there can't be.
People that think like that, I think are fucked up.
When it comes to exactly poker, it doesn't work. When it comes to like life, it's definitely more believable.
Yeah. Okay, next one, Ryan LaPlante.
Ryan LaPlante, he's a chip leader coach too. He posts way too much political shit on Twitter too. I had to mute him. I should probably refollow him. But the election day stuff was brutal. He's cool. He's kind of egotistical, I think. Especially when we talk in our coaches chat, like he's very, very set in his ways. And like, there's something good about that, but there's also something a little bad. Like it's kind of a stubbornness, but like I have it too. And a lot of poker players definitely have it. And like some of that stubbornness can make you good, but some of it can also hold you back. He's like he's probably got like super thick skin because like he's he did the openly gay thing and like he's proud of it and like that's good for him. But you just know there are just some idiots in the world that will never accept that no matter what, and he's always going to have to deal. But like he's cool with it. Like I think he's very confident in himself. I'll give him credit.
And actually, my take on him is that I think he's like wildly insecure. That's just like what I see.
I got the exact opposite, but maybe you look into it more.
Yeah.
As far as his poker game goes, he's obviously very there, but like he's like, I mean, I follow it. Like I think we're Facebook friends too. He's very active on Facebook with like his husband and his life and all that stuff. So like, I don't know, like maybe you see that as insecurity. I see that as like, oh, cool. Like he's establishing himself and kind of doing what he wants. He's like living his life.
The feeling, I don't care what he does. The feeling I get from it is insecurity, but whatever. Who cares?
Okay. I have some. I don't know. Maybe I see.
We're all insecure fucks. We're all insecure fucks.
Oh yeah, of course.
We're all motivated by our deepest insecurities. It just is the way it is, whether we see it or not. We just.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see him as insecure.
Okay, next one.
Maybe he's just like putting on a good face for me, but I think he's fine.
Zach Grunberg.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Yeah, this would have been such a way better one for someone else, like one of the Penn State.
Yeah, I never did Penn State. I know, like, I've had social media with him, too. I've seen him, like, he had his drug problem or whatever. Yeah. But he's supposedly better than, like, he's a clown in poker, in my opinion. He plays very different than, like, all the other top regs.
Yeah, he plays like an alien. He has something.
He is an alien for sure. He's definitely an alien, but he's, like, in person, though, like, I haven't seen him much or, like, associated with him. He's like this super nice guy.
Oh my god, he's the nicest. I think, for the record, I think he does lots of things that are good at poker. I'm an alien, so I'm a big
you are
of many aliens. I play
super aggro alien though. He's like different. I don't know.
I know. It's hard.
I would play you both completely differently.
Yeah, for sure.
I just realized if I 3-bet you, all my chips are gonna go in or I'm folding. Like against Zach, it's like if I 3-bet him, like I just know like we're always seeing the flop. We're seeing the flop and we're probably seeing the turn and river too.
Right. Why? Okay, I have another random question. Why don't you play high rollers?
I do.
I thought you didn't really.
I played a couple, like 25Ks and stuff.
Yeah.
I stopped playing 100Ks.
There was a period of time when you were playing them, right?
I played a few. I had success in them. Like, I mean, I was backed by like the dude that pretty much buys all the Germans as action.
Yeah.
And he dropped me at like the beginning of 17 after the PCA 100K. And like, that was fine. And then like, after that, I kind of took it as like, maybe I need to get a little better. I don't really think I think I got better because I just got smarter about it and I like saw things differently and like the way that like I see high rollers doing it. Like now I see that too. And it's like good, but like he dropped me. Then like a while later, like I went on this tear at like the Borgata where I final table all those stupid tournaments and like did good. I'm like, yo, like I did this and I won a bracelet in the summer and limit hold'em, which, is not indicative of my no limit hold'em game at all. But I'm like, yo, come back to me, like start investing. And he did. I'm like, now we're talking again. He's putting me in stuff. I'll be playing some 25Ks. He thought I wasn't that good. They thought like the Germans all talk about themselves a lot and like they kind of rank everybody and they like think like, they're like, he's probably like a slight loser to break even. You should invest in him.
I must say,
trying to be a slight winner, obviously.
I must say, if I did that, I was the person. This is the most confident I am about anything in the world. If I was the person that just put, I don't really care to, nor do I have the money to put everyone in the world.
Well, yeah, obviously. Who does?
But if I was that person, I would be the best person at that job in the world because
possibly
a lot of it's about intelligence. I actually didn't know this about you until talking to you today. You're clearly like a pretty big genius. Like
that's what I've been told my whole life. But no one sees it. Yeah.
No, but it's hard because I didn't see it, and I'm good. That's like my biggest skill.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like good at hiding it, I guess. I don't know. It's not something that like I don't want to say I take pride in it because I don't. But like I am there. Like I see things differently. My mind's always racing. I have like one of those brains, and like my intelligence in one thing is like complete stupidity in another thing. So like talking about this, sure, we can figure it out. If I think about something long enough, I'll probably come up with the answer. I like puzzles and that stuff, but like, you want to go into something else, like I'm just gonna like draw a blank and just like my mind's gonna shut off and not care.
Yeah, the genius stuff is the being able to put together big pieces of how, like the thing that you said to me about, okay, well, if I 3-bet Mark, I'm going to put all my chips in, and if I 3-bet Broom, we're going to see a fucking flop every time.
Yeah.
It's just well thought out. It's things.
Kind of. I mean, that's experience too. I can't fucking go into our first hand together and like you open the cutoff and I 3-bet the button with like some dust and like you just come up with a 4-bet with 90% of what you open with, and I'm like fold because I have like some dust. Like I know better nowadays.
Yeah, but it's using all the information and processing or whatever. But you're sneaky because I didn't pick up on that before. It bothers me that I don't know why I like want to like solve this. It bothers me that people dislike you, and it bothers me that you dislike people. Like I don't. I mean, I want there to be a communion here, you know. Because I'm not trying to sound whatever, but I love people. Some people. Yeah, good for you. I think some people are stupid. That's just how I think. But you're into all the psychology stuff. I'm not as much, and I don't see a person like try to analyze them the way you do. Yeah, the only reason why I changed like this is because I'm doing this fucking crazy hypnotherapy, and there's things that I was stuck on in my life forever, and that I'm just like pillaging through. And I think, and for me, all of a sudden I'm really like motivated in life and aspire to be like something great, which I like never did before. I didn't have the self-confidence to do. So now I'm probably overly like fucking.
I mean, that's good. I'm still young and like I peaked way too fucking early. So like I'm gonna be fucked for life. I can't do anything about that. I'm never like I won the main event for like all the money at 24. 24-year-olds are not ready for that. Like think of like
so talk about what weren't ready for it. Your ego? What?
Probably. I just didn't understand like what anything would entail. I was too young and like immature and all that stuff.
And how did that come out? You know, what did you do that you thought was immature? And
just in general, like if you knew me before, like I wasn't ready to like I was still living with my parents at home, like traveling, having fun, doing all this crap. Then all of a sudden, like newspapers want to come interview me before this tournament and like talk and. All of a sudden, like I'm also like, especially in between the 3 months or whatever I had to wait to go to the final table. I knew I had a bunch of money in the bank, like from behind, but like, I remember even in that spot, like I played some Borgata main in between the two and I busted like 3 bullets and I was emo as fuck. I was like, this is unbearable. I can't do this. Like I just lost $10,000 in this Borgata tournament. Like, this guy played so bad because I can't, deflect the blame. Like, oh, he peeled 5-6 suit and made trips against me, and I just didn't fold my overpair, even though he's 97 years old and he just has it. Like
that's debilitating. That's a really bad trait to have. That's really hard on you, I'm sure.
It was, yeah. I had to get over that, and as time has gone on, I've done that a lot more. I can lose 6 bullets and then laugh at myself later on about it. It's like, all right, cool. I lost 6 bullets. I'm still rich as fuck. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm a competitor for sure. I want to win everything I play. That'll never change, and that's like part of what makes me good, I think. But like that's a poker example in life too. Like I don't know, more people are just following you. Like even before that, like I had my little circle of friends. I knew people. I was still trying to get in with some people, all that stuff. Then like all of a sudden now you have all these eyes on you from all sorts of the world that like I'm not familiar with. Like us in the East Coast, we all think a little more similarly, and then like all of a sudden now I have like people in the West and Central following me, and it's like their thought process is different than my thought process, and I have let's say I have a popular East Coast opinion and they like think it's the exact opposite, then we clash and all that stuff, and I wasn't ready to like handle any of that. Like who the hell would be? How can you just go from like kid trying to grind in poker tournaments to like this supposed like I'm nowhere close to this, but like superstar, like dude that like now
to be fair, because you had a lot of beef with people to start. You have a lot of social fucking not.
Oh yeah, that's true. I had a ton of people that just did not want to see me win, and that had nothing to do. Like people that I knew didn't want to see me win, and that's cool. I don't give a fuck. Like so we have conflicting things there too. Now it's like you add that, and then like now all of a sudden that goes bigger. Because like it's not just those people. Now it's like all these other random people you don't know that like have beef with you and all that shit. Like now I have beef with them without like even knowing them. Type like that, shit like that.
Yeah, there needs to be peace, man. There needs to be peace. Though.
Hey, I mean, I figured out a solution that's working for me. I don't care. I'm happy.
Yeah. When you say you peaked too early, like especially,
I probably did.
You're just like I can see it. Just like. I remember there was a spot, I keep talking about Paul. There was a spot with Paul where he had won a little bit of money in poker. This is very early in his career. And then he was losing, maybe a couple $100,000 straight. and he was sort of down on himself or down on poker.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Paul, you're gonna have millions. You're gonna have more than $2 million within 2 years or something like that. I gave like an exact thing just because I could see how genius he was, and there's no way the money can't not go to that person. But I said the same exact thing in you, that it's just gonna keep coming to you.
Oh, I haven't had a losing year since I've been a pro. Like, there's a lot of good variance in that too. But like, I mean, I don't know. I don't worry about that shit. Like, I've had downswings before that have lasted and felt like awful. Like I can't do anything. But like that's just how poker is. And then like a lot of the times too, you go in a downswing, like you lose all that money straight. Like I can tell you, Paul was just probably doubting himself.
Yes.
Like, dude, I don't know if I'm actually as good as I think I am. Like maybe I just ran really good at the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to get better. But like in reality, it's just, you just keep losing ace king to queens all day. Like, what are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah, that's why he needed me. I am the host of the mental mafia. I'm the because it's pretty amazing. Like I've done really well. I've done really well in life, and I'm not nearly as close to the Sharp as a you or a Paul. I think Paul's like one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. But I said my skill is like seeing it in other people, because he needs to hear that. And I think a lot of people that are are not common, they need to see what's good in them as someone else sees it, for sure. I think that's
I mean, in reality, we're all just trying to paint our own paths through life, and like we got to pick the path that we think works best. It's also the one we probably want the most, so like that should help. But like in a spot like that, especially, like we see what we can. Like I went to school. I could have been like an actuary, but
what is an actuary? I don't know that.
It's like a dude who like analyzes risk and reward for insurance companies. Basically, like gives you a rate. They get paid a shit ton of money. It's mainly all math.
Yeah,
it's a super mathy and like probability and like statistical job.
Yeah,
and like that's what I started to go to school for. I took the first test. I failed miserably because I just like wasn't motivated to do it, because I saw like, oh look, there's internet poker. I want to play that. Try to make like $10,000-$15,000 a year. I'm also 18, 19 years old, not knowing what the fuck $10,000 to $15,000 is yet. Didn't realize like if I make $10,000 to $15,000 a year, I ain't going to be living in poverty. But like we do that, and like we're hoping to get better. And then like like that was the path I picked, whether it was right or wrong. Like it worked out for me. And like now, as like I got older, like I'm navigating it well. Yes. Some of that's just experience, but like we all pick our own paths, and that's what we got to do. And we got to like stick to the path. And like we have to be self-critical of ourselves. If like the path isn't working, then maybe we need to look for a new path.
That's wisdom.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is. Everyone in life finds their own way. Like you said, like you don't feel as intelligent as like the smartest people in the world, but you found something you're good at that like you're enjoying, and you've had success at it.
Yeah, on some level, my ego tells me that I'm like smart in different ways or something like that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm just saying what you said. I didn't mean to like.
Oh no,
that. Yeah.
No, I do, and I do to a point, but like especially like Paul, he just knows always. It's fucking insane. He always knows when something is going to do well, like crypto, like Bitcoin 500. He's like, we need to fucking get in this. How like it's just, every time he's like, oh, we need to play this fantasy team because this guy is sharp. Like he can just. And I think that you have.
It's probably what he's like doing. I don't want to say doing research, but he's like probably looking it up, and like some people just get it faster than others. Some people
shit up. He's not looking shit up.
No, but I mean, like he's probably looking at like for like the fantasy, for instance. He's like, oh, we got to play this team. Like, okay, like so they have a good matchup. Like it's just general intuition.
Yeah, it's psychology and assessing people and whatever. Yeah, but I think I get all like I try to get all the sharp people around me to like kind of utilize their stuff for sure, which is it's definitely cool too.
That's like a smart thing to do.
Last question. You're not even gonna want this question. If you could have dinner or you could meet 3 people in the world, any 3 people.
Oh God, I have no fucking clue. I've never thought about it.
You don't care, right? But I knew you were.
Yeah. Give me like Give me like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons right now, and then give me like Carson Wentz. Done.
Yeah, I don't even know. Dude, Carson Wentz seems like the best dude of all time, right?
Oh yeah, he's a super Jesus freak. If you didn't know, like I don't see in that, but like good for him.
But I don't care. I can tell he's a good dude.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Yeah, he's super nice. He's super humble. Like this is upbringing. Like his parents did a good job for sure.
How can you be humble? That's the thing. I I don't get it. Like you see guys that do well and it gets to their head because it just
sometimes
does to me.
It's just the way that it's wired, I guess. Like he's probably just brought up like, like celebrating quiet or like whatever, just because you're the man. Like if you stay humble though, that's a good way to continue to get better. If you start being like, oh, I'm the best, you're gonna get complacent in your thing too.
Yeah, and ego is so unattractive. It's so
if you get past that mindset, you get past that mindset, you're gonna do better.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Continue to work and get better at whatever you want.
That's good. That's pretty insightful. Do you have anything else you want to talk
about? Not really, unless you got something.
No, I think that's it. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll talk again in 3 years.
You got it.
All right.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, are you you're going to Borata?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right, sweet.
I'll be there.
All right, later, bro.
See ya.
Thanks.